Hey Jill and Natalia, I'm doing my presentation really quick. Sorry, it's kind of late, but I thought this would be the best way for me to do it. So here we go. This whole semester I did my issue brief and just like all this research on the mental health among international students in the United States. And it's actually incredible. I was able to just like really dive deep into what they're feeling, what they're experiencing, what's going wrong, what's going right, all the kind of things and all different projects that we've done, and I really liked it. I initially wanted to do this project on out-of-state students, but I'm really glad that I chose international students because it's so prevalent here at BYU because there are so many students just from all around the world. I feel like I have so much more empathy and compassion for the students that are here going through the hard time of being away from their family and being an international student. So it's been very productive. Okay, with these four things, I wanted to start by saying, start by explaining my top two contributing factors. I found those to be social isolation and a language barrier. Starting with a language barrier because I feel like it's a little bit more easier to understand. People that don't speak English as their first language, it can be really hard for them to find connection with people, and it can lead to poor mental health because they're not they can't talk about their feelings because they can't express themselves well, or they can't really just make friends in the way that they are used to. And then I also found out that one of the other contributing factors was social isolation. So the poor mental health from these students, what I'm trying to say is the contributing factor to poor mental health is social isolation because they're unable to connect with people. They're also unable to kind of just find things in common with other people. And so they're just isolating themselves instead of going through the struggle of trying to find commonalities, that kind of thing, if you can understand. One of the top two negative consequences that I found was depression, and the other one was higher dropout rates. It's really sad to see the levels of depression of international students in the United States especially. It's really high. In my issue brief I talk about some of it, but it's 75% of the students have depressive symptoms, but then also fall into deep depression while they're in the United States doing their schooling, and so it's super sad. Something also interesting is that their higher dropout rates. I mean, these students are put under pressure, they're put under just unrealistic expectations that they put on themselves or from their family, and so one of the consequences, honestly, of just everything that these students are going through is higher dropout rates because they're just realizing that it's too much or too hard to do and they don't really know how to keep going. One of the best practices that I found was accessible counseling, and not just that, but in the native language of the student. So obviously it's hard to express yourself in a second language, but counseling that is done by someone who understands the culture that you're coming from and also in the native language that you're from can be a huge help. There's actually an incredible organization that does this. I did my project on it, the due diligence project on it, and they're called International Friends Incorporated, I think, or just Inc. And they do exactly this. They also have friendships, but one of the main things that they do is they have trained professionals that go in and help the kids or help the students receive the need or the help that they need in their native language. So that's pretty awesome. And then just something surprising that I've learned is that suicide rates are super high among international students that have poor mental health because of their social isolation and also the language barrier, but also that they're living in a constant state of confusion. It's really difficult for them to understand the systems that are here in the United States and also understand how life works here. It's very different than their home country. So they're just kind of confused and they don't understand what's going on. And they're trying to ask questions or trying to get help from other people, but it just takes years and years of understanding, for example, the educational system, the economy, how money works. And then also I heard from someone, and I've just read throughout the research, the healthcare system is super difficult for them to understand because it is different than countries that they've come from. So these are kind of some of my findings about the mental health among international students in the United States. I'm grateful that I was able to do this project. It was really cool. It really opened my eyes. I feel like I want to go out into my community and help and reach out to those who are going through hard times as they're transitioning and building a new life for themselves here alone in the United States. It is something super inspiring and something super beautiful. So I want to be able to help if I can in any way. So that's how I'm going to keep I mean, I guess I could keep this incorporated in my life and keep doing good is by helping these students. So thank you for such a great semester. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you can get this video, and yeah, just take care. Thanks for everything.